Hi there. Welcome to Craft with Kathie.
Ready to jump right into this project. If you haven't seen the intro, check it out. Now, normally I use an ink mat between the layers of anything that has layers, like a shirt or even a pair of socks, because I don't want the ink to go through to the other side. And this is actually the ink mat that I use for onesies. I've cut it down to size. But instead of using this and cutting it for my socks, I just cut a piece of cardboard, smooth cardboard that's 3 by 6 inches that I think will fit in there nice and easily. And these are so nice and soft, and they truly do feel warm and cozy. So drop me a line and let me know where you're viewing from. Tell me if you've been hit with snow yet or not. So I'm going to insert my cardboard, and I want to do the outside of the sock. So this would be like my right sock. And I have to make sure that, of course, I apply this transfer with the words properly, not upside down or anything like that. And I want it pretty much not up near the very, very top of the sock, maybe about midpoint. Move that around a little bit more. So this is going to be on the outside of the right sock, and I am going to use the warm and cozy. So let me move the other one out of the way, or my whole sheet of transfers out of the way. And I'm just going to place this. Now, if you're putting your transfers on fabric, you do not need to fuzz them. And fuzzing is something that we do to reduce the adhesiveness of the transfer. I want to make sure this is straight. And smooth it down, make sure I don't have any air bubbles in it. And then I'm going to take my inks and I'm going to massage all 3 packets because I'm going to use all 3 colors. Now I'm going to show you the best way to open up your inks and save the remaining for a future project. Basically, after I've massaged the packet, I will kind of push the ink inside up to the top. I'm going to actually open it from the bottom. That way I keep that color block on the top intact. And when I'm done with it, I will seal it with either our placement tape or washi tape or a staple or a paper clip, something like that. But I squish the ink down or upwards to the top, clip the bottom. Now I'm going to take a little stir stick and scoop a little bit out into a tray. I really need just a tiny bit for these socks. A little bit of ink goes a long way. So then I'm going to clean off the top, roll it up, and tape it with the washi tape. And I do that to all 3 packets. Whatever you use to seal it, you just want to make sure that it's airtight, and make sure to clean your fingers afterwards because you don't want any ink on your fingers when you actually start your project. So I do this to all 3 packets so that I have everything ready to go when I actually start my project. I'm scooping the ink out and putting it in our little color trays. I think they're 24 in a pack, and I think they're just a couple dollars. But anyway, you could put it in anything you want. Like I said, our ink and our paste are both water soluble. I just wouldn't put it in a paper plate because you don't want the plate or anything else sucking up the water and drying out your ink. Same with paste. It can be a little tricky when you have such a full packet of ink or paste. When you try and squish the ink or the paste up towards the top, it might overflow a little bit and end up on your hands, or when you try and roll it up, some might seep out. I just try and roll it as tightly as possible. Like I said, a paper clip or a washi tape or a placement tape, anything to seal it and make it airtight. And grab another baby wipe and clean things up a little bit. Baby wipes are great for cleaning your fingers, but you do not want to use them on your transfers because our transfers are adhesive backed And we want that adhesive to stay nice and strong, especially when using it on fabric or anything. It keeps the fabric taut and in place. And baby wipes have lanolin in them, so you don't want to use them actually on your transfers. You could use disinfecting wipes, or our board erasers help for cleaning your transfers. They're really easy to clean them. Okay, let's get moving here. I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do the and sign in the ocean mist. And I have actually cut in half a mini squeegee, and I'm going to use that because this is kind of tiny. So I'm just going to grab a little ocean mist. Don't need a lot. And just go over the and sign here. I'm going to go over it a couple times, make sure it goes through onto the fabric beneath. Remove any excess. Smooth away any lines. And then normally I would put this back into a jar. Grabbing a disinfecting wipe to clean it real quick. And just wipe it off. And watch your fingers. I just realized I had some ink on my thumb, so I just cleaned it off. Keep doing finger checks whenever you're using ink. And then I'm going to use the Couture Teal, which is this medium blue, for the word warm. Just had to check, make sure that I was still on camera here and not out of view. You can see that a little bit of paste or ink goes a long way. Now remember, we're using ink because we're on fabric, and we want to heat set this when we're done. So I went over it, getting rid of any lines. There's not really much left there. And then I want to do the word cozy, which is a little distressed. You can tell the lettering is a little distressed in the tide, which is the dark blue. I don't need much here. I just want to grab a little bit of it. I want to make sure I hit all the white parts, which is the silk screen showing through the transfer. I want to make sure that I don't run into anything I've already inked. Can you believe it? I need a teeny bit more there. I almost missed the bottom of my Y there. Okay, clean it off, remove the excess, remove any lines. Okay, let me clean my fingers. They're clean. That's amazing. Usually I get ink on them all the time. Okay, ready for the big peel and reveal? I'm going to lift it up slowly to make sure I didn't miss an area. If I miss something while it's still attached, it's easy to lay down and just do it again. Ah, I did miss the O on the cozy. Oh, nope, that's actually where it's distressed. You can see that the stress doesn't do the whole entire O. Okay, so we're fine with that. I'm going to put this aside to dry. I could take out the cardboard and let it dry. And then what I will do is once it's dry, I could speed it up if I needed to with the hairdryer, but once it's dry, I'll put a piece of parchment paper over it and either using an iron or a heat press. If I'm using an iron, I'll set it to the appropriate temperature for the fabric, and then I will move the iron over it. Remember, put the placement paper, parchment paper over it, sorry, and iron it for 4 minutes. Just keep the iron moving. If you're using a heat press, set the heat press to the appropriate temperature for the fabric and just do it for 30 seconds. So that's all there is to heat pressing. So you don't need any special tools or anything. Okay, now on that one, I did the right outside of the sock. This one, I want to do the left outside of the sock. So I'm going to do this way. Put my cardboard in. I'm making sure I don't have any ink. Nothing really came through there. So I could use this again. And with Chalk Couture, you will actually get a PDF of instructions, and you will get a link to a video that shows you how to do it. And then actually on the back, let me grab it. On the back of the transfer package are instructions for how to use it. The use and care are right here on all the back of the packages. So when I'm done, I will clean that up, stick it back on its backer, and slide the whole thing back in this envelope and hang it up for the next time I want to use it. I should have snuck my hands in here and opened up these socks a little bit before I tried cramming in the cardboard, just like you would before you put a pair of socks on, right? Okay, this is the left side. I'm doing the left outer side of this sock. And I am going to, what was I going to put on this? Oh, the hat. The cute little hat. So I want to put it basically positioned similar in position. If I want to measure, I could. So pretty much the same position, right? Smooth it down. That's a little crooked. Let me straighten it a little bit. Smooth it down. Oops. Make sure I don't have any air bubbles in there. And let's see what colors I'm going to use. I think I'm going to do the bottom and the tide in the darkest color. Just take your time and be patient with yourself here. I want to be careful I don't want to go off the transfer on the bottom. Need a little bit more. I'm going to turn this around and bring it towards me so that I don't go off that edge. Now, if you have something like this, it's a perfect use for our placement tape. You could use this to tape it down so that if you do run off the edge, you actually ink onto the tape and not the surface underneath it. I'm going to lift that up and gently look at it because I'm just not sure. Make sure my fingers are clean. Oh yeah, that looks great. I wasn't sure on that edge. Okay, let's see. I think I will put maybe the teal at the top and the ocean mist in the middle. I don't know if I have enough, if I pulled, yeah, I pulled enough ocean mist out there. Okay. Let's do it. Scoop that up. Ooh, right into my finger. I am a messy crafter, I have to admit that. Make sure I don't have ink on my fingers here. Now I go over a couple times, just giving it a chance to be absorbed into the fabric. And this is really nice. It's not, when it is heat set, it'll be nice and soft. You won't actually even feel it. It kind of like just melds with the fabric beneath it. Okay, this is going to be a little bit trickier for me. I need to get up at the top and not hit that tassel. So I want to take my time. I don't have a real steady, precise hand, so sometimes this can be challenging. One thing you can do, if this is an issue for you too, is get a tiny stiff paintbrush and just paint the ink on. I think I've got right up to the tassel. Smooth it out. There we go. And look at, we're still going to have paste left over. Ink left over, I'm sorry. I am definitely using ink. I don't know why I keep saying paste. I need to clean my fingers. And my squeegee. Finger check. And let's do the little tassel. And I want to do this in the Couture teal color. I don't need a lot because it's pretty small. Just a little dab will do you here. Need just a little bit to get in that little scallop or that little corner. There we go. Time for peel and reveal. What do you think? Make sure my fingers are clean. Now, how sweet is that? And wasn't that quick and easy? It looks like I might have gotten some teal there. I must have had it on the squeegee, but it's fine. Who's going to see that on a sock, right? Okay, so I'm going to set this aside to dry before I heat set it. And in the meantime, I'm going to show you how I clean my transfers. If you're new to chalking or inking, I just want to give you a quick little demo of the easiest way to do it. Nothing to be afraid of. Like I said, these are our paste and our ink are water soluble, so they're easy to clean. This is a board eraser. I usually cut it into pieces. You'll see why in a second. It's like, why use a whole eraser on transfers that are so tiny, right? So I'm going to spritz them with water. Obviously, you could do this over at your sink. But I give them a little scrub on the top. That'll take off most of the ink. Then I flip them over and clean the sticky side. We try and do a circular motion. It's kind of hard on this one, being that they're so tiny. Then when I have all the ink off, I come back with a disinfecting wipe, and whoops, I wipe in one direction to get off any of the fuzz that is on the back of the sticky part of the transfer. Now, we didn't fuzz this with the fuzzing cloth, so we didn't intentionally put any fuzz on, but it probably picked up some lint from the back of the from the sock itself. So once that's nice and clean, I just lie it down, sticky side up on a flat surface to dry. Clean the back of this one. Then I'll just chase it around the mat. How's that? And then when it's dry, I'll put it back on its backer sheet, put it back in its little envelope, and put it out, put it away for storage. That's all really there is to it. It's that quick and easy. Now, Chalk Couture is normally $25.99 a month. Whoops, I've got a little string here. But as this day 7 of Chalkmas, it is reduced to 30% off. So that's really cool. You could sign up for Chalk Couture and get a little kit of goodies delivered straight to your door every month. We pay the shipping, and you will get an exclusive transfer this size, a surface or an embellishment of some sort, and the paste or the ink that you need to create the project. And look at how much ink I have left. I can make a whole bunch of socks, or maybe a couple more onesies. I mean, I've got a lot left. I've got to think of another project, right? It's a nice way of giving yourself an hour or so of creativity. Treat yourself. And if you want to save even more, you can actually snag a Perks membership, which a Perks membership is on special until the 12th of this month for only $1, and you can become a Perks member. And with being a Perks member, you will get an automatic 30% off of your purchases. Friends don't let friends pay retail, so grab your Perks membership and do a little shopping and make yourself happy. Thank you so much for watching. I surely do appreciate it. I will see you soon.